Okay.
So, Dad, you had another episode of your dream.
Yes, only one, but had a lot in it. You may recall in the last one, there was a young lady who was staying at or just moved into the girls' ranch, found out she was pregnant,
How old is she?
14 or 15.
Really young.
Yes, young girl. And so she couldn't stay at the ranch, but I had a couple who was worked for me that was living in a house of mine, and they had a spare room, and they offered to let her stay there until the child was born.
How did she get pregnant? Did you know that?
Yes, she had been in a foster home, and it was a man at the foster home who had done it. And I don't know any details about that at all. I do know that the judge who found out about this, there was some comments made about they couldn't be foster parents anymore. But anyway, this couple said she could stay with them until the child was born, and had to go before a judge though. And then that's not where the dream started, this new one. It wasn't at the judge. In fact, it never has the judge in it, but it's getting very close to Christmas. And so all the fences were painted and the posts were painted white and a lot of Christmas lights and all. So there was a couple of really interesting Christmas presents.
For whom?
For people there at the place. One of them was
like just at the ranch.
Yes.
Got it.
One of them was the three little Mexican girls who lived with those Mexican couples that stayed and didn't go back to Mexico. They got shoes for Christmas. Now they were barefooted when they came there, and they'd gotten sandals and painted their toenails. They were so proud of that, but they couldn't put the skates on those. But now they had shoes that they could wear if they went to school. They could wear them, and they could put skates on the shoes. So they could use the skating
play in
rink.
the skating rink. Yeah.
Right. So that was kind of neat. The biggest Christmas present, though, came from my brother, John. He and Juan went over to Waco and picked up their daughters for Christmas. And when they got back, John gave his daughter the keys to his new car and said, "You may use this car while you're here to visit your friends in town and whatever you want to." Then when it was time for them to go back to Waco, she handed him the keys, and he says, "No, you keep them. The car's yours." It was part of her Christmas presents.
That's a big Christmas present.
Yes, it was. That was a big
And
Christmas
she's in college?
present. Yes, she and Juan's daughters both are at Waco in pre-med. They both want to be doctors. And I think they're a junior now in pre-med. Now Juan's oldest son is now a senior at Lampasas High School, and I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know anything about that. Anyway, but that was the biggest thing for Christmas. Now you remember that Jackie had started a restaurant. The restaurant is now opened for lunch and dinner 5 days a week. They don't open on Mondays and Tuesdays. They get those days off. But then, and of course, they can go to the early service for church and still be there to work to do the lunch. And I think they told me the hours was they didn't let anybody in after 9, and they tried to close up and get out by 10. This is a biggie. The bakery that was baking the pies has become a huge success. They now have packages for the pies, boxes for the pies to go in. They can't make enough pies. They've doubled the size built onto it, have another big oven, and people are coming to have them bake cakes because there's no one in Lampasas to bake special cakes or anything. And they're baking a bread multi-grain or something bread that's not normally in town.
Mhm.
And they're just been a huge success. They work nearly all the night, they work night shifts and everything. And people come and buy it. And the self-service grocery station has also doubled in size. The cooler, the refrigerator part that, or freezer thing, is now locked though. It's not open. They keep a lot of frozen chickens and things in there. And so they have to go to either the bakery or to the barber hair place to get a key to get into that. But it's also grown immensely. Dances have started again. It's Jackie would like to do one every week. We've now down to every month. She can do one a month now.
But why did it go down?
Go down?
Yeah, you said we're down to one dance a month or something.
Oh, she wanted to do one every week or something,
Mhm.
but I just said too much. And so she's agreed to do one a month.
Okay.
Oh,
and it had been every other month before.
Right.
So now you're at one a month again.
One a month, right. Now, there's another biggie thing. This chicken has gotten very successful, both with the eggs and with the chickens. And there's a produce place in town where they can be slaughtered and cleaned, So they put in, I say they, my daughter and Jackie, 4 of these large buildings to keep chickens in.
Oh, that's stinky.
Well, they kind of took care of that. They put it on that 360 acres, first one I bought,
Uh-huh.
but on the roadside of these, it's over half of that widthwise, they planted fruit trees. And then on each end of it, they planted fruit trees. So you can't see them from the main highways. You can't see them from the old Lomita Highway, and so it's far away from any living quarters.
So it doesn't smell.
No, you
Doesn't,
can't.
it smells, but it doesn't
Yeah, but
affect where everyone lives.
yeah, but I don't know how many chickens they have there, but it must be 1,000 or 2. And they just keep more and more selling them, they can sell them to the produce house, but I think they sell them more just to people,
Mhm.
That's about all that was in this dream. But it was a lot, much more. There was nothing about the cattle in Lee.
Mhm. Your son.
No, yeah, there was nothing about that. There was, the girl who was pregnant. Well, she had the baby, and it was a little boy, and she didn't want to and couldn't keep the baby, so she wanted it to be adopted. The couple that kept her till she had they wanted to adopt the little boy, but it had to go before a judge. Well, the judge approved them having it, but they talked to the girl, made it clear that, you're giving up all rights to him and everything. Yes, she understood all of that. And so I don't know what they named the little boy, but now then that couple has a son,
Mhm.
and they didn't have any children before.
And maybe she gets to see him sometimes, which might feel good for her.
It might.
Might
Now,
be stressful, but maybe not.
but Martha worked with her while she was pregnant. That kept her up with her classes, so she didn't get behind a
Mhm.
year in her studies and missed a grade. She made the grade.
Mhm. Your daughter, Martha.
Yes, my daughter Martha. Okay, and there's at least 5 kids or seniors are going to graduate this year. Connie, the girl who was found with the boy,
Mhm.
she wants to study something in finance and go work for Sarah. what was his, David was the boy. They call him Dave. He wants to major something in law. Because he doesn't have anybody else to help him. And they save most of their money. So that's those two. And then the little boy Joseph named Joe, who stole the corn a long time ago, he's graduation. And he has a stepfather who works cattle on the ranch, and that's what he wants to do. And
So-
then what else? I think that's about all of the seniors. There's 5 of them. I don't know what Juan's son wants to do. John's son wants to be a paramedic. And I've had talks with people have talked about putting in a ambulance there on the property and maybe a fire truck, but we hadn't done it, but there's been talk about that. Okay, that's, I think, about it.
All caught up?
Think so. And I've
So-
only had that one dream,
Yeah.
I can't force them to happen, They either happen or they don't. So one of these days, they're just gonna quit, I'm sure. I hope not soon, though. I do enjoy them.
Yeah, it is. It's like having a little movie play out in
Yeah.
your head at night.
Yeah, and there's so much and so many people now involved.
It's really cool, Dad. It's really
Yeah.
cool. Well, till next time.
Okay, good night, darling.